We're literally gonna do step by step of how I did my makeup on my wedding day in Egypt. Yes, I did my own makeup. And I do not regret that decision, not one bit. You're not gonna regret the decision of doing your own makeup on your wedding day, especially if you don't have that many options. So obviously you guys know me and Moody's first wedding was in Egypt. So I don't know Egyptian makeup artists. Like, I didn't have someone on deck that I could call and be like, yes, they're gonna do my makeup that I fully trust. And I wanted to make sure I was gonna look how I wanted to look. And you guys, the makeup the day of turned out so amazing. I was so happy with how I looked. Here's some pictures of how I looked. These were like up close makeup shots of me like right after I finished my makeup, and I'm really excited. This is gonna be a long detailed one, so let's get right into it. I think the cool thing about my makeup the day of the wedding was that I didn't overcomplicate it. I didn't use any new products, that's for sure. I didn't use anything new. I used products that just like I knew were gonna make me feel really good. I started out with my eyes. I didn't do my face first because I didn't want it to get ruined by any eyeshadow. I'm priming my eyelids with MAC's Painterly Paint Pot, and this just really helps the shadow stay on absolutely all night long. Zero creasing, zero like eyeshadow fading away. Oh, and you guys, this was the hairpiece that I wore the day of my wedding, but I actually wore two of these, so there was like two of them back to back. Believe it or not, you guys, this palette was the only palette that I used on my eyes, and that just saved me so much more of a headache because I didn't want to, it was a 2-week trip. I didn't want to bring like a huge eyeshadow palette. I have everything I need right here, and this is the only thing I used on my eyes other than my inner corner highlight that I also used on my face. First up, I used this shade in my crease. I kept my eyes super matte the day of my wedding. I didn't want any shimmer. I wanted just like a really classic matte eyeshadow look. I did keep in mind though what flatters my eye shape, and what I stuck to overall was really just smoking things out in a winged liner kind of motion. So I've got this warm brown as a really nice transition, just kind of in my crease and a little bit on my lid on the outer corner, just like really blowing this out to make sure that I'm kind of setting up the rest of the eyeshadow to be super blended out. I'm also using the Ariel A11 brush. This is his collection with Morphe. Best brush set ever. If you guys have not purchased it yet, please go get it. I'm taking Morphe M433 brush. It's a more tapered, more precise blending brush. I took this is matte 8 right here. It's a very warm brown. Putting that on the outer corner. For this beginning part, I'm really going to be building up those darker shades on my outer corner and kind of winging them out. I just remember when I was doing my makeup, I was like so focused. I just literally felt like I was in a trance, and I just kind of like got in the zone. I remember my dad coming up to me and he was like, do you need anyone to get out of here? Like, do you need everybody to leave you alone? Like, my dad had my back that day and it made me feel so good. And he was just like, you let me know if you're overwhelmed. I'll tell everyone to get out of this hotel room. And I was like, I'm actually okay. I had like a nice little vanity area all to myself. So I was able to just like lay all my makeup out, zone out, and just really get in the moment of just like, okay, this is my wedding day, doing my makeup and taking my time with it. Okay, now I'm gonna take a little bit of matte 6. It's kind of like a darker neutral brown, and I'm again just gonna pile that on the outer corner. Just kind of blend it a bit. Picking up an even smaller brush, and this one is slanted. You'll notice that the darker the shadow gets, the smaller my brush gets, and that's just so I can be more precise with the darker shadows. I'm going in with matte 11, and this is just a really dark brown eyeshadow, and I'm just keeping it like in the winged out motion right there. I love this brush. It's from BH Cosmetic. The fact that it's angled makes it so perfect for just like really kind of shaping out that outer wing that I'm really trying to build up. I'm going back in with matte 8, which is that really warm brown, and I'm just gonna go right over top just to make sure that the warm brown is peeking through right when that dark brown is kind of like ending. I just keep going back and forth. Like I'll put a color, I'll blend a color, I'll go back to lighter to blend out the darker color. It's just like a back and forth process. We're really gonna brighten things up with that like classic matte glam look. So I'm taking matte 1 here and I mixed it with a little bit of matte 3, but I really want like that pop of a cream matte color all over my lid, and I kind of bring it to the very top of my lid. So this is my entire lid here, but to kind of make my eyes a little bit bigger and seem less hooded, I really lift the cream up here, sort of like in this crease of my brow bone area. So I'm just pressing it right there and bringing it back only on top here, again, to kind of like create a new crease. It's literally so easy to blend. Like it just makes it a dream to blend. I've tried to do this look with plenty of other eyeshadows, and the matte, especially this like matte white almost, it comes out so chalky, and once you go to blend it, it kind of just like wipes away completely, but not with this palette. I'm like the #1 advocate for this eyeshadow palette because it's just that good. You can see there's kind of like that harsh line. I then take my M433 Morphe like tapered blending brush, and I just go ahead and like tap at those edges. And again, this is gonna be where that kind of back and forth process comes along, because it's just a process of blending it and then making it pigmented again, and like packing on the color and then blending it away, and packing on the color and blending it away. That's pretty much the whole process. The brush that I'm using to pack on the color is the A29 Makeup by Ariel and Morphe brush. Again, just work at that back and forth until you have something that looks like this. That is really it for the eyes, you guys. I add the shimmer like at the end once the rest of my face makeup is done. I usually never do my brows first, but in this case I did do my brows first. I just really wanted the shape to take place, and then I would work around it really carefully once putting my foundation. I'm filling in my brows using the Benefit, what is this? This is the Goof Proof Brow Pencil. It has a nice slant to the pencil, so it allows me to get precise and really just fill the brows in. But I will have all the products linked below, so if I forget to mention something, it will be in the description box, I promise. I'm gonna leave my eyes where they're at, and I don't know why I like to put lashes on last, so that's what I did that day. That's what I'm gonna do today. And move on to my complexion makeup, which was my favorite part about my wedding makeup. My skin was like, it was so snatched. Let's start on that. First things first, I obviously have had my skin moisturized from the beginning, but then I go ahead and go in with my Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Filter. This thing is as good as everyone says it is. I'm in the shade 3 Fair, so I just use that to prime my skin and just kind of like put it all over just to set a nice glow for my skin. I use the IT Cosmetics #7 brush. This is the double-ended brush to blend that out and just press it into the skin. So I made sure that I was nice and generous with this product because I really want that glow to just peek through my skin. Believe it or not, you guys, and I know this is gonna come as a shock to a lot of people because my skin was looking flawless that day. I can't fault you on that. I used a drugstore foundation, and let me tell you, before I left to Egypt, I tried a few different foundations. I'm not gonna lie, I love my NARS, what is this, light reflecting foundation. I love the new Makeup Forever HD foundation, but nothing gave me that like flawless, full, just skin-like, but still flawless, the way the Maybelline Fit Me gives me. And every time I wear it, I get so many compliments. My skin just looks so good in this foundation. I don't know what it is. I am in the shade 220 Natural Beige. I love drugstore makeup. So I just went ahead and dotted this all over my face. Definitely was like pretty generous with this just because I wanted that flawless full coverage. I also blended in my foundation with a brush. Again, I'm using the IT Cosmetics #7 double-ended brush. It's so good. I have one specifically for the Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Filter and then one specifically for foundation because I didn't want those two products to mix in the brush. I don't know if that's just me being a psycho, but I went ahead and just blended all that out. The reason why I'm using a brush is because I just feel like it gives more coverage. I love the look of foundation blended out with a sponge. I think, you know, beauty blenders blend out foundation beautifully, but for that day, for this special day, I really wanted to just maximize the coverage of my foundation, so the brush is what did it for me. I'm kind of being a little more careful, like around the brow area. Around my brows, I take the smaller side and just kind of blend it into the brow a little more. For concealer, I use my trusty Cover FX Power Play Concealer. This is my go-to concealer for years. I don't know what it is. Ever since I started using this, I've tried different ones, but I just always come back to this one. I love the finish. I love the full coverage. It's my wedding day. I'm being generous with the concealer. Don't play with me, like, hello. Now for concealer, going in with a sponge. I love that flawless under eye coverage that a sponge gives. Made sure I'm really careful next to my eye, and I kind of use this to also clean up the eyeshadow in the outer corner. The eyeshadow is like starting to look better already now that the face makeup is finishing up. There were so many like moving parts of the day, and I thought that so many people were gonna be in my room. I thought that like everyone was gonna be in my room and it was gonna be like crazy, and I can tend to get really overwhelmed in situations like that. Like sometimes I just need peace and quiet. My dad knows that about me, so that's definitely why he was like. But surprisingly, I was actually so happy while I was doing my makeup, because I thought everyone was gonna be in the room, but actually people were like off doing their own things, like in their own room, doing their hair, taking their pictures, getting their makeup done in other rooms. So like if my girls didn't stay with me in the room, I actually would have been by myself with like the hairstylist. It made me feel really good to just hear them like in the background laughing, or like they caught a lot of like behind the scenes pictures, and it was just a really nice feeling. It was like, whoa, this is actually happening, and like it's such a good day, and yeah, it was just really nice. I am warming up my face and bronzing with the Milk Makeup Matte Bronzer Stick. And then I take my Il Makiage 100 foundation brush and I just press that. Notice, oh, there's a little hair. Notice I'm not swiping. I'm literally just pressing that into this area of my face. It is just so good. Oh my god, I'm already loving how this looks, and I'm like getting flashbacks. My vibe as a bride, as an Egyptian bride, was just very classic, glamorous, like to the top. I was channeling that kind of bride. So anyway, I used Fenty Beauty cream blush in the shade Bikini Martini. As you can see, it is a really bright pink, and I used the Morphe M427 blush brush, and I just press it on the apples of my cheeks. Doll vibes. Like I wanted to look like a bridal doll. That's what I wanted to look like. And again, I just put cream blush, so I'm gonna go ahead and blend everything out one more time. Just make sure the edges of that are nice and blended and things look seamless. My all-time favorite, Laura Mercier translucent powder. The key to putting on your translucent powder is this little powder puff right here. A felt powder puff. All you have to do is type in triangle powder puff on Amazon. I'll have these linked down below though. Press it in here and I kind of dab it off. And then I go right in on my under eyes. I swear you guys, this powder puff makes the biggest difference in the finish of your makeup. So flawless. It gets rid of any kind of overdone texture that you have, and I really make sure to press it on the sides of my nose to also help with like the contouring and the slimming of my nose. I take this Eco Tools brush. I love Eco Tools. This is, I can't even read it. This brush is so old. I think it's like the multitasking powder brush, but I just take whatever excess powder and I kind of just move it all around my face and make sure everything is semi-set. I go in with my Huda Beauty Glowish bronzer. This is in the shade 02 Medium. I love this bronzer because it's not fully matte, but I don't know, there's something about it. It just has like a silk finish. It's not shimmery, but it has a silky finish. That's the best way I can describe it. And I just go over all the areas where I put that cream contour. And then I go ahead and rub it on the sides of my nose. For blush, unfortunately, I used a blush that's discontinued. This is by BH Cosmetics, and it's their Vanilla Strawberry Truffle palette. I don't know why they got rid of these, but I'm obsessed. And I used this blush right here along with a little bit of this one. This one has a shimmery finish and this one is very matte. So I just threw a little bit of that over for a little bit of sheen. Since you can't get your hands on this blush, there are so many cool toned pink blushes like this. It's just like a literal Barbie pink. So I just take some of that and I put it over the apples of my cheeks. If you're looking for a blush like this, there are tons of them now. I feel like these have gotten really popular. Sephora Collection has one that looks almost exactly like this, and Dior has a really popular one. Kylie Cosmetics definitely also has one that's like this as well. If I go overboard, I take my powder brush with no product on it and I kind of just like press over it. But that day I went in on my blush. Like, I did not care. I put so much blush on because blush is the first thing to fade, and like, you want it to stand out. Now highlight, I've been loving this Glowdient palette. This is by the brand Touch in Soul, and they just have like every highlight for every skin tone. I love it. And I use this shade right here, like this second one here, to highlight my cheeks a bit and on the bridge of my nose. All right, back to the eyes. To finish them off, I'm going back in with my Mario palette, and I was thinking about doing like a pencil liner, but I actually didn't do that. I stuck with shadow instead. I just grabbed a really precise angled shadow brush, and I pick up this black color here, and I kind of just ran that along my waterline. So kind of just smudging it there, sort of making it look like I have eyeliner. And I kind of stopped it right before it got to my inner corner. Sometimes if I drag it all the way in, it just doesn't flatter my eyes. So I kind of just stopped it right about here. Then I take a lighter brown shade and I just blend that out on the outer corner. So I smoked out that bottom lash line just like this. I'm gonna go in with a little bit of the mascara. Of course, I use my Deck of Scarlet Big Lash Energy. If you have not used this, you need it. I put this on my lashes. I didn't put too much though because my lashes were pretty huge. I plan to use these lashes way in advance just because they are my most glamorous lashes and they always look so good on me. Kiss Lash Couture lashes in the style Corset. I feel like I'm my most glamorous, like beautiful self when I wear lashes that have like these little spikes. I don't know, I love like a good spiky lash. So this is what I went for the day of my wedding. These definitely have a thicker band, so you have to do what you can to make sure that like you blend them in, but I'll show you guys what I do to make sure that it just doesn't look like a crazy ass band on my eye. If anyone's wondering, Moody and I are doing great. We're loving married life. Like, we just talk about it randomly, like, wow, we really found each other and fucking got married. Like, what? That is so crazy. Let the glue get a little bit tacky. I'm gonna go ahead and just put some mascara on my bottom lashes. I'm also gonna highlight my inner corner. I'm taking that same Glowdient palette by Touch in Soul, and I'm picking up the first shade. It's definitely more of like an icy champagne color, and I'm putting that on my inner corner for that really pretty bridal inner corner highlight. Lashes are definitely ready to be popped on. Go ahead and press those on. Just to be extra careful the day of your wedding, make sure you bring a tiny little pair of scissors in case they're too long. Major key. Look at my eyes, you guys. Do you see that huge lash band like just sticking out? Yeah, well, that's not cute. So what I do to blend that in is I take a little bit of black eyeshadow on a very precise angled brush. Just go ahead and pack it right there to blend using that black eyeshadow, or you could use a little bit of eyeliner to really blend the lash band with the line. So kind of connecting them to your inner corner. It just makes a really big difference when trying to conceal that lash on the inner corner. And I know everyone's eye shape is different, but for me, my eyes just struggle with that. I don't know if like the inner part of my eye comes down a lot, and most lashes just kind of stick out in that area, but when I do that little trick, it takes care of it all. We just have a couple more steps left, but these steps are really, really important to the overall look. So I take my Cover FX setting spray. This is the High Performance 24-hour wear setting spray. It's literally like hairspray for your face. So I let that dry down about like 95%. I take my Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish Powder by Charlotte Tilbury. I'm in the shade 1 Fair, and I take that on my Bare Minerals diffused highlight brush, and I take a little bit of that once the setting spray is like 95% dry, and I press it right on my under eyes. And I'm telling you guys, this creates the most flawless bridal skin ever. This is like my secret tip. I love doing this, you know, just like on a regular full glam moment. I put it on the sides of my nose as well to just help with the contouring, and this step just takes my makeup to that next level. You can see the difference. How smooth does that look once I put it on this side? Look at how that just smooths it out, but also brightens the under eye. And just, I don't know what it is. Putting this after setting spray really just snatches like the whole makeup look. A little bit on my forehead. And then I also do it underneath my jawline, like underneath the contour, just to redefine that contour as well. And again, if I want to go back with blush and just retouch, make sure it's nice and bright again, I go ahead and do so. There's literally no such thing as too much blush in my definition, especially if you're a bride. So yeah, that's that on that. The last and final step, and honestly, this is one of the most important steps, it's your lip combo. You have to have a lip combo ready. Buy it. Even if you're getting your makeup done, buy it. Buy your own lip combo so you can keep it with you. Ask the makeup artist what lip she's going to use on you that day. That way you can buy it and have it with you to retouch your lip, because that's one of the first things that go. And honestly, it just makes a difference in your overall look. So I have a four product lip combo for my wedding day. Is it extra? Of course it is. Is it necessary? Questionable. In my book, I'm gonna say yes. Maybe other people don't think so. Anyway, I am taking MAC Strip Down Liner. This is the perfect like contouring nude for me. I overline a little bit more on the bottom and a little bit more on the top, just to get that like even more pouty look. Next lipstick I go in with is my REM Beauty matte lipstick in the shade Roller Skates. So I'm putting that on, but I'm keeping it mainly, I'm trying to leave the center of my lips empty. So I'm keeping it like right here, like there and there. I know it looks like I'm putting it on the whole lip, but I'm leaving like that empty and this empty, so you can see it there. And then for the very center of my lips, I take this. This is what's really gonna like make that bridal nude lip really pop, because this lipstick is super nude. It is Morphe Flirt lipstick, and I just put it in the center like that. Now I can keep it like that, or I can put a little bit of gloss over. If I do put gloss, I am using a little bit of Fenty Beauty Fenty Glow Gloss Bomb, and I just dab it on like this, not like fully swiping lip gloss onto my lip. And that's the lip combo. I am so obsessed with this lip. It is the perfect bridal nude. I mean, And that's it. We are done. Do I look like a blushing bride, you guys? I literally feel like it's my wedding day again. Oh my god, this is so weird. Everything turned out, honestly, like so perfectly. Like even more perfect than I could have ever imagined that day to be. Honestly, you can do this makeup whenever you want. You can do it for your birthday. You can do it for like a special party. It doesn't have to be for bridal, okay? I just wanted to hold the camera and bring you guys in closer to take a look at it. The entire look. And this is how I looked the day of my wedding. I was so incredibly happy with how I looked. I absolutely was in love with how my makeup came out. Like I was taking selfies afterwards and I was like, damn, I did that. I hope you guys enjoyed this bridal look. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you would recreate this if it's your special day. Comment down below. Congratulations to all my brides. I'm so excited for you guys, for me. I'm excited just like for all the celebrations of love, and I hope you guys really enjoyed this makeup tutorial. Don't forget to subscribe. I want you guys part of my family. Join me here on my YouTube journey, and I love you guys so much. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.